Alright, I'm coming to you September 9th, 2011, and I'm getting ready for my trip to Dallas, Texas, and I'm in Estacada, Oregon right now at the cabin, the place where I spent a lot of time between 3/11/2011 and now. Still have some stuff here, still have my food here, but this video is kind of about faith, about my faith in the universe providing for me wherever I go. And even though things aren't necessarily comfortable in my travels, and I've had certainly a lot of travel since the day I was born, there's interesting lessons to learn. So I just kind of briefly, because I never did a whole bunch of videos when I was here, it's definitely a certain energy in the woods here. It definitely makes one relax a little bit, kind of unwind. Yet it's also a little bit quiet for me too. There's really nothing going on. There's good and bad to that. You don't have internet, you don't have TV, you gotta make up your own fun. We kind of made this like a Wing Chun dummy in a way, or we were doing some exercises with this. I think it could be a pretty cool sign. Right now we're going to walk down and go into the cabin briefly. Okay, this is where I've spent certainly a lot of time. Me and a friend of mine, my friend Alex, and so right here is where I have a laptop where I'm going to put this video on. I've been listening to KBOO radio all day, and they've been doing a lot of really amazing levels of coverage of 9/11, being an inside job. So much stuff there that I have never heard KBOO air before. That's a local community station. One thing I want to say about being out in the cabin is I will be placed where I'm needed at that moment. Nothing is permanent in this reality, and we're all getting a big lesson in letting go of a lot of things taking place in the world. Sometimes it's letting go of material things or what we think we need. Sometimes we get exactly what we need, although our wants are something different. This is the kitchen. And I want to thank Debbie for sending me this. This is a vacuum sealer. And this is a dehydrator. And so these are some of the things that I bought in the attempt to be self-sufficient, off the grid if you will, or to the best of my ability to be prepared. And so we definitely have a lot of food in here. Not really a whole lot of sweet. It's got some protein powder there and some rice. But we definitely spent some time stocking up some food. See if I have some Hanson soda back here. Nope, none of that. This stuff's really good, by the way. So basically we stocked it up, and I have my buckets of food. I'll show you that in a minute. And I found myself, though, pulled back to the city because it's not time yet. And even though they just found another fault here in the Pacific Northwest, it's near here. It's on Mount Hood. There's so many things shifting and changing that you truly have to be prepared here in your heart to deal with whatever comes at you. You know, one day I'm working at Ruth Chris Steakhouse, then I'm laid off, then I'm helping open up a survival store after about 1.5 years of not doing much, and I was excited about that, and that was my focus, and that didn't work out. So I didn't really know my partners very well, or their intentions. And then on 3/10, we saw a Japanese earthquake. Alex and I already agreed to come up here on 3/11, so it was synchronicity, like a god shot, like a sign that this would be our spot. And then the energy shifted again. I felt my energy being pulled back to the city because I'm not very much of service out here in the middle of nowhere. So I've definitely been going as a young man and as a talk show host, as a soul, through a lot of very unique experiences in my evolution here on Earth as a human. But being able to walk away from this stuff, walk away from the perception of safety and security, there's something very liberating about having faith in the Creator taking care of you. Now, there's another thing I learned recently. I came in here last night after not being here for a month. I've been tenting basically around town. Living quite well for a homeless person, a home-free human, if you will. Let's go upstairs. This is the pull bar, by the way. A lot of ways to stay in shape. I'm going to be fine wherever I go. Now, this is where I was staying. And so you can kind of hear the river. And my closet is not exactly what it once was. A lot of stuff's in boxes now. It's amazing how many times I wear the same clothes, and the fabric still holds together. So this is basically, I think that's cool, kind of a little barrier between this area and over here. So it's a beautiful place, but it's isolating. I felt isolated. The townspeople in Estacada, about 15 minutes away in downtown Estacada, yeah, they're a real interesting piece of work. But I came out here also to Estacada without having stereotypes, without letting the stereotypes get to me. And I've had some very, very amazing conversations with some people that are very glad to have met me here in town. But it's still not where I'm supposed to be right now. That's why I'm going to Dallas for a period of time. I'm supposed to be more mobile. But this video kind of gives you an idea, though, of some of where I was spending my time in my own head. You know, it's when you're away from people and you're away from the city, no more are you complaining about the urban grid. You're dealing with yourself and those thoughts inside your head. And so that's always very interesting when we do that, when we fully unplug and step away from our Facebook profile and just deal with the thoughts in our head and reflect on our lives, where we're going. Buckets of food, walking away from that, no fear at all of what might happen in the next couple weeks, next couple months. Complete faith. Here's something else, though. These are some peppers. There's so many survival things I can show you, but it's just like, we've been there, we've done that. It's time to go beyond, but I'm feeling I'm getting ready to go on a trip, so I do want to have a little fun with this. Show you some other things. This is my butane stove. I have a propane stove downstairs. And this is my audio board. It's not really being used right now, but this is what I would use when I used to do my online radio show. Okay. So now we'll go downstairs, and while there's still some light, I think I've showed you everything there is to show you in here. But here are some of the books that I have. Holographic Universe. My books are my prized possession. Possessions. Information. This is my crossbow.
I know that
spent a lot of time out here. A lot of time. Okay. You know, when you're living on the streets, or you're bouncing around different places, that whole fear of being watched by the government goes out the window real fast because, well, I think it'd be kind of a boring thing to watch. But there was some concern when I came out here to the cabin that perhaps there would be interesting groups that are interested in knowing about my whereabouts. And then at one point you just let go of that fear. And I've been walking without that fear for a long time, and every now and then, you know, it tries to creep back in. Or people might say, aren't you worried that such and such is going to happen to you? Well, especially if you go to the woods, or especially if you go to another city, and you might experience racism. If you go to Texas, oh, you're going to be running back to Portland. I don't think that's good mojo to be projecting those fears of the unknown, or projecting fears of capture, when we don't actually have to do that. There's a lot of people for years that have been living inside that box, and it's quite a prison. It's quite a prison of the mind. Here, I've faced the things inside my own mind, okay? And there's information that is inside me that I want to get out to the world. And I'm not scared of these events coming themselves, the independent, individual events. I'm concerned with not warning the people properly, in a coherent form, like making a film, reaching the masses about this plan to stage World War III between China, Russia, and the United States. So, and many other things. Help people understand how solar flares affect consciousness, affect the planet. We are living in some very, very interesting times. So, that's the river. I'm not going to walk down too far right now. Apologize if this film was a little dark or shaky. I just want to get that out there. This is where I was staying. I'm documenting it because I don't know where I'm going from here. We'll see what happens with the world situation. Anything can happen at any moment, but documenting a piece of beauty in the middle of in the middle of the wilderness, basically, about at least an hour outside of Portland. And through faith in a higher power and a drive to wake up the masses and my preparedness plan coming from helping others, this is why I'm moving on. I'm shifting. My world is shifting. I'm shifting fast. I have a lot of things, a lot of ideas that I'm going to work very hard to get out on paper and get out on film. And so learn a little something from me, because it's why I'm making this video. I have done much with just about nothing. And no one's supporting me. But yet, the technology's been there for me to catapult this information, get it out there. And I've always been provided with the very things that I need. And so if I can do it, you can do it. Remember that as these things start manifesting around us. Hey, there's going to be some more videos coming up later on the YouTube channel. Stay tuned.